Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy and today we're doing a Q&A session. And I got all of these questions from my Instagram, which is down below in the description box if you want to follow me on Instagram. And first, before I get into the video, if you haven't yet, please hit the like and the subscribe button for me because it really does help me and my family out. So I've got 6 questions here. You guys have asked all kinds of questions the last week or so. So I want to make sure that I hit these 6 here today. So first is about one-income households and homeschooling. Most families rely on one income. How do you get the most bang for your buck? Okay, so with this one, what I have found that makes the most difference is saving all year. So every single month, setting a chunk of money aside to be able to buy homeschool curriculum during the month that we would buy. And doing that, having that prepared really does help out. It's kind of like, when you save up for Christmas and then Christmas you go ahead and buy and it doesn't hurt as much. That's pretty much what we do, and that seems to help out a lot. You can also go to the swap groups, buying used. There are homeschool stores around the country. They can be a little difficult to find, but they are out there. Research your area. We have one that is within driving distance, and I like to go there probably twice a year and just look at the books in person and be able to really see what's inside and make that decision. And sometimes I will actually buy the materials there as well. Number 2, what's one thing you can say to a mama for her first year of homeschooling? Have a lot of patience. Have a lot of patience and know that you do not have to have the type of homeschool that you see on the homeschool influencers on Instagram type of school. It's a lot of times I find that is completely unrealistic, and you guys know how social media is. We all want to have that perfect Pinteresty house, and we want to have the kids that look like the ones in the picture, and I get it. I totally get it. I like to call what my homeschool is real life homeschooling. You guys know, if you've watched several of my other videos, I'm pretty transparent and open about, hey, this is just how we homeschool. And I can tell you right now, it looks nothing like the influencers on Instagram. It just doesn't. And honestly, I don't follow most of those accounts for that reason, because it's unrealistic. It just is. That doesn't happen. I have 2 boys. Are you kidding me? So just know that you do not have to have like this perfect little house and poetry tea time and morning basket and everything, all the things to make homeschooling work. You can tailor your homeschool to work for you and your family. Even if you just do what's in the books, that's totally fine. You don't need to add in a whole bunch of extras because you're worried that they might be missing out. They're not. They're really not. And I think that that's the one thing that I see the most with newer homeschoolers, because once we think about homeschooling, we start researching it, and then we get just pounded with all of this information from Pinterest and Instagram about it, and a lot of it is just really unrealistic. At least it is for my family. Now, if you can do all of those things, that's great, and your kids are going to have a very enriched, lovely homeschool day, and that's awesome. But I have teenage boys, and it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen with us. But I'm not knocking you if you do it, okay? So just know that. I'm not judging you if you do all of those things and you love them. It's just not for us. So don't pressure yourself unnecessarily by following accounts that are just like picture perfect. Make sure you stay in the world of real homeschooling. So I would say that. And I would also say make sure that you pray a whole lot and stay in the Word while you're really preparing yourself for a brand new experience for you and your family. And I will say one last piece of advice. When we started homeschooling, I had an umbrella school, and we still are enrolled in the umbrella school. It's just a place that holds our records for us. That's all it is. And the woman on the phone, she told me, going into your first year, I want you to be prepared that your whole home is going to feel like it took a deep breath and relaxed. And it did. Even with boys, somehow it still happened because all of the rushing around ceased. And it was like, really like the whole home just took a deep breath and we all relaxed. and it has been so peaceful ever since we started homeschooling. So number 3, what are your kids' independent subjects? Language arts and math and science right now. Sometimes you can double up on science, but language arts and math are the 2 big ones that you want to make sure that you have separate, because a 3rd grader and an 8th grader cannot do the same math, and they don't do the same type of comprehension for reading, phonics, and writing compositions as well. So make sure that those 2 subjects are done independently. Now, some subjects you can do together, like history, and you can tailor it. So if you have a 3rd and an 8th grader, the 8th grader might write a book report / biography of a president in American history, while your younger child might draw a picture and write a small paragraph. So you can tailor those, but you can't tailor math and language arts like that. Okay, so next, recommendations for homeschool teachers' school supplies. Now, I've bought enough stuff and had to get rid of it that I'm pretty good in this area. So first, I would say a nice laminator. I bought this one for like 20 bucks. I say nice laminator, but this one has been such a workhorse for me and has never let me down. And it's just a Scotch laminator, and I use the laminating sheets on Amazon, super cheap, and I'm still on my first box of them. A lot of pencils. You guys, we go through pencils like crazy. But I don't buy the expensive pencils, and I don't buy the super cheap pencils. I buy the box on Amazon full of like 200 pencils. We bought one box 3 years ago, and we're still on the same box. And they come pre-sharpened. Not even kidding. So yeah, they say Amazon right on them. The Amazon Basics. Get you a box of those pencils. I have a really nice pencil sharpener. You guys, I went through like 4 or 5 of these before I finally broke down and got the $30 one. Save yourself the headache and just get the $30 X-Acto one. Yes, it's the X-Acto School Pro, and if I remember, I'll pop a link down to this below, because this one is like the one you want to have. It is probably the best one. It's never broken like my other ones. I think we broke like 4 or 5 of them. Now, if you like to plan, I'm not saying that you need to, but if you like to plan, or your state requires that you keep records like this, get a nice homeschool planner. It won't let you down. I use the Simple Plan. I've always used this one since we started, although I did use a Erin Condren life planner, or no, teacher planner, excuse me, last year. But you know what? I actually like this one better because the boxes are bigger. So I have more room to write what I want to write for each subject. There's like 6 lines in each subject. So this one actually gives me more room. And you guys, it has pockets. I feel like I'm describing a dress right now. It has pockets. It has pockets for all of my papers. And this is the only planner that I have ever found, ever, that has pockets. So I can keep all of my nice little records inside. Okay, last, what's your best response to family members who disagree with home education? I'll take it under advisement. You guys, I'm kind of a smart mouth, so I'm a very sarcastic person by nature. It's just how I was raised, and sometimes I really struggle with it. But usually I give the whole, thanks for your opinion, or I'll take it under advisement, and I just move on to the next thing. Honestly, they're your kids. Ignore it. I had to go through it myself. I did not have very much support when I first started out, and that really made the first 6 months for me so I'm sure you can imagine. It made it very stressful, and you do start to worry that like family members are going to start quizzing your kids. But you know what? You guys, listen to this. I have a bachelor's degree in education. I taught in a school. I taught in a classroom for 7 years, but people still had the nerve, I want to say, to question whether or not I could teach my own 2 children. And yes, it happened to me with a bachelor's in education. So you know what? You can do this. You do not need a bachelor's education to teach your children, because the teacher's manual tells you everything you need to do. It's already planned out for you. When I taught, nothing was planned out for me. I had to do all of that myself. Home education, it's all done for you. You just have to assign it. That's basically all you're doing, especially when you get into the older grades. You're just assigning it. Honestly, there was nothing that was really difficult about this for me, and my kids really just went into it seamlessly, and they both have very much enjoyed it. But you will have family members that come up to you and just like try to quiz your kids or try to ask things, and my kids, they just kind of let it roll off their shoulders. And you know what? I never worried about my kids giving a bad answer, because if they did, you know what? They're your kids and you get to decide what to do with them. Nobody else. So remember that. They're yours. They're not the kid. They're not your parents or your grandparents or your in-laws or even the state's. They're yours. You make the decisions. Okay guys, if you have any other questions, make sure you pop them down below and I might do another Q&A video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and I will see you in the next video.